Hello guys, and welcome today to Caroline and John's wedding. First of all, thank you all for coming, and you all look amazing. Now, if you're counting, this is Mum's third wedding, and John's second. Despite this though, John still can't do the vows properly. And unfortunately, they didn't set up a loyalty card scheme to get them for free.
For those of you who don't know who we are, firstly, what a shame. Second, I am Abby and this is Ethan, and we are Caroline's pride and joy. And yes, we are related despite the pretty obvious height difference.
Alright guys, so quickly, thank you all for coming as well. Thank you to the staff of Barset Hall for this beautiful venue, and for the staff for keeping the alcohol levels so high. It's been amazing.
On to some more untraditional thanks. So we'd like to thank every Royal Mail and Amazon. The non-stop delivery of packages to our house has contributed greatly to the yearly targets, even if the neighbours probably now think we run a brothel with the amount of men at the door. And a massive thank you to the staff at Danebridge Pharmacy for keeping Mum's HRT levels high. You have saved us all.
Now, Mum and John often say they're down with the kids. They really aren't. But they did match on Bumble, okay? Not the best starts. When we first heard they're going onto the online dating sort of scene, we were both petrified to say the least. But here they are, at the wedding, so something went right at least.
So regardless of the looming danger of a dating app, Mum was helped by our lovely Lindsay to prepare a profile with gorgeous photos, a bio, and then we prepped her to merrily enter the dangerous world of online dating. We gave you some simple rules to follow to maintain your safety. Didn't follow any of them.
Whereas Mum had all the preparation, John had none. In fact, when we asked about his experiences, he says the plethora of boobs was amazing. When we first saw the profile of John, we were like, ew, who's his weirdo? And I still think that today. However, after a few too many G&Ts from Mum, she decided to go for a hot date with John. The destination, the Smoker Pub.
Many of you won't know the Smoker Pub, but the location was far from ideal. It has no phone signal, next to a busy dual carriageway, no public transport, and loads of empty fields. Mum, it's a serial killer's dream. So, ignoring every previous warning she'd ever given us about safety, off she popped to meet this strange man in the middle of nowhere.
Now, John has many distastes in life. He doesn't like steak rare, he likes it well done and burnt. He hates broccoli, seafood, all that pass. Whereas Mum has a lot of favourite foods in her life. When they first went on the first date to the Smoker, Mum was eyeing up some black pudding for starter, but John said he hates black pudding, and Mum promptly agreed. Now, starting a relationship on a lie is never very good. But it seems to have worked, we think. And it all goes to show that online dating can be successful. You don't lose a kidney necessarily, and just give the weirdo a chance.
I first met John a few weeks after your first date. I stormed into the house one Saturday night after a raging argument and quite loudly declared that all men are dickheads. John cowered into the corner with our late dog Cassie, and then I stormed off to unload my anger onto Ethan. John, I'm so sorry for scaring you. That's that much.
I first met John coming back from a hockey tour. I was in Croatia with my friends, and one night, after drinking too much, and through ways that I still a bit hated myself, my hair was all shaved off. I looked bad. Imagine Kieran, just worse. Mum was a frantic self, calling me an idiot, crying, saying she'd been homeschooled, whereas John was trying to comfort her by his little duck jokes, a skill he would learn to perfect.
From these first few meetings, John should have quickly learned how dysfunctional our family was, but quite happily he decided that he wanted to stick around.
Now, as the relationship between Mum and John blossomed, Mum became so happy. She would tell us about all the things they've been doing, all the dates and all the funny stories. She started to adopt the Scouse accent and mannerisms of John, and building up her collection of trainees and wearing a tracksuit. She even went to an Everton game once. They lost, big surprise. And I don't think she's ever seen Everton win a game, but she would say nowadays she's a die-hard Everton fan. Yeah.
Their love went so far as to break the lockdown rules, which is great from an NHS employee. John, allegedly. John soon moved into our house along with baggage. And by this we mean countless hoodies, coats, and a quite frankly extortionate amount of DVDs, John. Bit weird. Yeah. He then began his project of fix this shit up and appointed himself project manager of a house renovation. This project managing meant letting in builders, making them brews, and reading notes left by Mum on what exactly needed to be done.
As John became more integrated into the family, we began to learn some more. Unfortunately though, our grandma is not here anymore, but she adored John, and his endless stories about the compromising situations Caroline, John, or the two of them found themselves in. She would often become engrossed in the stories of the things they had done to embarrass themselves, and we would be barely laughing the whole time. This achievement is not to be understated. For those who got to know Grandma would be well aware, you do not want to cross this lady.
Grandad too would have loved how you always care and look after Mum, how you've always provided light in the darkest of moments and have always been there, a steady rock. Although he may have been more impressed if you could use a screwdriver or a broom without getting blisters on your hands. Yes, John, we know those hands are not meant for manual labour. But we are both sure if those bottles of red wine were on the kitchen surface of 2 Fairmead Road, a few drops would be on the side for you both on this very special occasion.
John, from the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you endlessly for making Mum so happy. We can all admit here, in this safe space, with all the witnesses around us, that you can be a bit of a pain in the arse, and you can wind her up and us up to no ends. You don't believe in being quiet on the phone, you throw bread away the hour it's open, and 95% of the milk ends up down the sink. But despite all this, you make Mum the happiest she's been, and for this we can't thank you enough. Now please, as you are part of the family, can you stop saying you haven't done the induction paperwork to get out of chores?
Mum, you are the centre of this family, the one that we all go to for help, the one who's always there to support us. Through all the ups and the downs, you have been there by our side since the very beginning. If there's anyone who deserves love in this moment, it's you. You are the most incredible woman in the world. You have shaped our lives to no end with your kindness, love and honesty. We will always look up to you, being the guiding light whenever we need you. You have helped create amazing memories filled with love. We hope that we've made you proud as we progress through our lives. You truly are the best Mum either of us could ever ask for. We love you endlessly. Oh, and we are so excited to see you empty this happy chapter of your life. We love you so much.
Thank you both for this amazing day. You both deserve it. Enjoy the rest of your night and the time in Maldives. We love you so much and the best for the future. We really can't be doing this again. Now, Kathy, don't do things like, okay? We're going to search you at the end of the night, okay? So can we all raise a drink to not doing this again?
Thank you very much for that wonderful speech. Now, I'd like to ask the son and daughter of the groom, Ellie and Kieran.
Thank you. Ethan, I don't know what you say about the trim. I think it looks pretty fresh personally. Okie doke. So, hi, I'm Kieran. I'm John's son. Although I may be the best man, next to me is the favourite child.
Hi, I'm the favourite child, Ellie. We want to make this short and sweet with a hint of embarrassment.
We certainly do. Okie doke. So when we were younger, we used to watch a show called Dr. Bounty Hunter. Is anyone familiar with the show? Yeah. Okie dokie. The day after watching a lengthy series of this, my dad took it upon himself to to audition in real life, let's put that simply. Yeah, absolutely audition in real life. So a man walked into his store when he used to be a manager of British Home Stores. He took a look round, you know, he stole a couple of clothing items and then left the store. It was at this point my dad knew it was time to shine, it was time to do it, absolutely. So what he did is he sprinted towards the door, he then bumped into a clothing rack. So he bumped over, stood over, and he actually stood up in a G-string and a bra. So, yeah, you know, sorry, what are you doing there? After he stood up in a G-string and a bra, the thief knew he fucked up. So you remember this, right, Ellie?
Yes, I remember that quite clearly. It was a very funny story of our childhood. But I also remember another time when he apprehended another thief, but this time without the double Ds. My dad is a strong believer in if there's no picture, it didn't happen. So after every captured thief, there was a picture added to his collection secretly. However, this time there was a lovely surprise of a flash when taking the picture. And there was a coat brown to be cleared up in the interrogation room.
Thanks for sharing that, Ellie. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that with the group. After all, we're all friends, right? Yeah. I'd just like to finish off by saying, you know, it's a short speech, but I'd just like to finish off by saying, Caroline, you look beautiful. Dad, good day to you. But it is honestly, you know, it's a hard thing to do because the person that I would normally go to for these sort of things, the advice and stuff like that, is my dad. So, you know, anything like this, I would usually go to my dad for this sort of advice, whether that be personal or work related. So, you know, really tough. But, you know, I genuinely don't know where I'd be without my dad. He helps me through thick and thin. And, you know, if I ever get stuck, he's the person that I call straight away. So I wish Caroline and my dad the most happiness and a lifetime of happiness for the future. Much love to you both. Much love.
When we first met Caroline, it was a night filled with nerves and excitement. We met at the Trafford Centre, and my dad was full of nerves and couldn't sit still for more than 2 seconds. But once we'd all sat down and it just all felt so natural, we bonded over different things and laughed over the jokes that, of course, were made by my dad.
Not very funny, by the way.
Caroline, thank you for letting us be a part of your family and always looking out for us. Thank you for making our dad happy and putting up with him and his awful jokes. I'd just like to add to that, Dad, thank you for everything you do for us both. It doesn't go unnoticed, and we know we don't say it enough, but we love you.
Now let's all raise a glass to the bride and groom.
Next, ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour, your groom.
Thankfully there's no names in the speech, so that should make it a little bit easier. First of all, I want to do all the thank yous. So the team at Bartle have been absolutely amazing. So, you know, from start to finish, they couldn't have helped us anymore. I think the day's been absolutely perfect. Took away all the stress. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Then I'd like to move on to the bride crew. What can I say? So Abby was given the thankless task of keeping the bride calm. I'll let you decide whether she did a good job or not. But absolutely amazing. You know, this whole process has been 7 months in the planning. But Abby's been there every step of the way to make sure that she was sort of calm, and as I say, the HRT has been absolutely amazing. Ellie has been, you know, a part of the bride crew. She's a beautiful bridesmaid, and you know, she is not the favourite child. I have equal favourite children. I have a favourite boy and a favourite girl, just to be absolutely clear. Tesley's also joined the bride crew, so she was obviously Ethan's girlfriend, and she is, you know, a massive part of our family as well, so thanks for joining the girl crew. Best man, obviously Kieran, has he's been through some really tough times, and you know, I think we should all mention he has quite recently been through some really, really difficult times, and I think it's only time that we should mention that. He's a Man United fan, so I think we all know it's been tough. It's been really tough, and I think just take like a minute just to.
We all think so.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to say really. He's a Man United fan.
Leave it at that.
Yeah. Paul is my best mate. He's been there through thick and thin. I've known him since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I can rely on him 24/7. Pick up the phone, call him, and he's always there. So, you know, he doesn't realise how important he is to me, but he's been an absolute diamond, you know, right from the start. So, Paul, you're a diamond, mate. So Ethan, you know, I'll put him as part of the bride crew. He was the person giving away the bride. I thought he was giving the bride away a little bit too enthusiastically. I've asked him several times what the refund policy is. He didn't seem to want to talk about it. But she's mine now, and yeah, thank you. So I've sort of put the thank yous down to sort of the J clan. So that's my mum and my sister, who I couldn't do without. They are my absolute rocks. They're always there for me. My mother is an absolute pain in the arse. I read that wrong. No. I meant I used to pain in the arse. I'm sure for the people who've met me mum, I'm sorry. Just check your handbag. That's what's your handbag open. Obviously, then going to Caroline's crew. So Laura, amazing. You know, she welcomed me to the family. You know, right from day one. You know, and just showed me pure love, you know, all the time, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, the welcome to the family was absolutely amazing, and wasn't that cake? Always seems a shame to eat, doesn't it? Well, thank you very much for everything you do. We've obviously got a memory table. Obviously, recently lost my husband Barry. He obviously passed away in January, so obviously he's not here. And then, obviously, it's already been talked about Yvonne, who's Caroline's mum. What a welcome she gave me. You know, I absolutely adored the woman. You know, right from the start, from the minute we walked through the door, you know, she was just amazing and welcomed me to the family. And obviously, you know, I think it was a massive part of our life. You know, and as I say, we know she's here today. So, you know, a massive part of the events and stuff like that. There's also my dad, obviously, who's not here. Again, my dad was, you know, a massive part of my life. And as I say, I know, you know, so when you are out and about and you've got a drink in your hands, go to the memory table and just raise a toast, you know, for those who are not here. So thanks for that. So I just thought I'd say a little bit about sort of me and Caroline and how we met. So we met about 5 years ago, actually in April. I was doing a retail risk for obviously the RAS guys who know. We were doing an event in London. I knew I had Caroline the minute I sent her a picture of my giant erection. It was actually the stand that I'd created in retail risk. But you know when a girl really, really gets it, and she was She was hooked. There was quite a lot of compliments about my erection. I'll let you guys explain that to the kids probably a bit later on. She was very impressed. Commented quite a lot about it. Caroline was always really impressed about how strong-willed I was. You know, if I said it, it kind of went through. And I remember saying to her quite in the early days, I don't want to get married. Well, we all know that. But here we are, so, you know, that was a big part. So this, you know, as it's already been said, this is my second time of making a speech. The first time of making a speech was at Paul's wedding. They're still together, so, you know, it's reasonable and stuff could be together, but, you know. Yeah. So with Caroline, we share lots of different passions, and, you know, we try and do absolutely everything together. And every day, you know, we kind of learn together. We do lots of things, so I thought I'd encourage it to sort of, you know, a massive passion of mine is Everton Football Club, obviously 2-0, absolutely get in. Everyone know we're in a relegation battle. So I took her to the match and I thought, you know what, let's do something, we'll share that passion. So we went, and she sat there, and we got beat. Yeah. We don't heckle, please. So I thought, you know, it's just a one-off. It's just a one-off. We'll ride it. So we booked another game, and we
got beat.
It's not a quiz. You know what I mean? So I thought, this is not working. This, yeah. 2 times, been 2 games. I said, we'll do it one more time, and then that's it. We're going to call it day. Didn't we? Agreed. We both shook hands. Thankfully, Everton pulled it out the bag and we won the 3rd game. But Caroline's very strong-willed, and you know, we always try and learn together and stuff like that. And Caroline's taught me a lot of things, particularly in the bedroom. So.
There's kids here.
No, I didn't joke yet. So, particularly in the bedroom. So, for years and years, I used to just get up in the morning, just throw the duvet back over and walk away. No. I've learned a whole new way of doing it. You've got to make sure that every corner's all tucked in. You've got to make sure that 35,000 throw pillows have been put back in their place. So you should always learn, every day, learn something new. So thank you for that. The wedding, 7 months in the planning. And right from the start, I said to her, let's do this as long as we don't bring out Bridezilla. And every day since then, we've seen her. Rain and shine, there she is, telling us we haven't done this, showing me this. In fact, that was when I realised I have absolutely no interest in what a design of an invitation looks like. Or we literally sat there for an hour, looking at 2 designs of invitations, going, well, what do you like? What do you like? Crazy. So God knows what we're going to do on Monday, because we've got nothing else to talk about. But that's towards the end of the speech. So all I can say is I am incredibly lucky to have found an amazing person called Caroline. I've got that name right, so I think that deserves a round of applause. So, you know, I've been welcomed into a new family. We are a blended family. You know, everyone gets on really well, and I think it's, you know, to the best of our ability, we sort of, you know, live and love together. So I want to raise a toast to my wife, which, so to Caroline. Thank you.
So thanks for those wonderful speeches. So once more, ladies and gents, if you can raise